Time is on the side of Jersey City residents who are now having trouble paying their rent. The next phase of the COVID rent relief program is being rolled out.
And starting next Monday, low-income families can now apply for up to $10,000 in rent relief. And here to tell us about who's eligible and what they have to do to apply is Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop. Good morning, Mayor Fulop. Thanks so much for joining us this Monday morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so the first phase of this program was for very low-income residents living in owner-occupied buildings. And now you're expanding the program. Can you explain a little bit about the changes?
Yeah, so I mean, the first phase was actually something done through nonprofits earlier in the year that was substantially less dollars. And the second phase was using some of the Treasury dollars that we got from the federal government that was going to be allocated towards owner-occupied buildings. And the reason we chose owner-occupied buildings was we just really wanted to manage kind of the number of people that applied and make sure that we prioritize Jersey City residents that are living here and own property, as opposed to having kind of out-of-town investors and developers. The next one is going to be larger. All size buildings, and it'll also be $10,000 per tenant.
Okay, so how much money is available now to each family, right? That's the big question for so many.
Yeah, so we're going to go through about $7.5 million between now and the end of the year. So it'll vary on what the allocation is, but the hope is that we'll get about $10,000 per person. So you know, you're going to see a substantial number of families get cleared out on what they owe their landlords.
Yeah, do you have any idea about how many residents actually qualify for this?
I mean, the big challenge, well, you know, we have thousands upon thousands that qualify. The big challenge is that there really isn't enough dollars to have everybody that needs it. And I think that's a problem not only for Jersey City, but it's for New York City and Newark and every other city across the country. So the demand is very high. So we're just going to try and do it in a phased approach. We're lucky that Governor Murphy has put a moratorium on evictions for these people. So we have a little bit of time to get it right.
And because there is such a demand, you know, we have seen across, not necessarily in Jersey City, but across the area, there is a problem with the application process, websites crash, so on and so forth, right? Are you ready to handle the surge? Because the application process begins next Monday, and where can people go to get those applications?
Yeah, so the applications are going to be on the Jersey City website. We'll have our resident response center helping people fill them out. We do think that there'll be a lot of demand, but we think we'll be able to handle it. We've tried to do it in a phased approach for that reason exactly. Yeah. And if it's oversubscribed, we're just going to have a lottery system to make sure it's fair and equitable. So we set a tight timeline on when you can apply, so that way people know that they have to come in that window, and then we'll manage it from there.
Well, I see that you do already have some sort of outreach being provided to the residents who are applying. But how soon can these tenants expect a response once they've applied?
Yeah, so we're going to turn it around quickly, and we're actually on a tight timeline. We got to use that dollars by the end of the year. So, you know, if you start the process in October, there's a 2-week window. Mid-October, we'll start turning around the applications within the next 2 weeks. So you could expect in early November to mid-November, you're going to start getting your check. Checks will go directly to the landlord, and it'll be based on what your back rent is.
Yeah, maybe I missed it, but when you say low income, is there a cutoff? What is the qualification here, dollar amount?
So we're looking at 50% of AMI. So you're looking at families that make $40,000, or individuals $40,000 or less, and families probably in the range of $70,000. So you're talking about kind of the more vulnerable populations in cities like Jersey City, and really the most needy people. So that's where you start. If you have more money after that, you expand it and gradually expand it even more. But that's the starting point.
It's just so good to know the help is on the way. Let's pivot a little bit. You announced something pretty cool recently. Jersey City is going to be the first in the nation to get a new citywide public secure bike parking system. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I mean, we've really invested in kind of bike infrastructure here to make it a walkable city and bikeable city. So we have a huge network of protected bike lanes, and then kind of the next phase of that is making sure that people feel that they have a safe location that they could dock and keep their bike when they go to a restaurant, or they take the path, or whatever they choose to do. So, you know, it's bike infrastructure is the type of thing that the more you build it, the more likely people are to use it. Yeah. So if they feel safe, then you get utility higher, and that's what we're trying to do.
It's like City Bike. I mean, City Bike, people, you know, were like, wow, we're never going to use it. Then it came, and everybody was riding it, and you can't get a bike sometimes, right? You go to there, and it's the empty dock.
Yeah, and the more safe, and Dan, the more safe you have kind of the roads, the more likely are that people with families are going to get out there and do it. So that's really important, these sort of little things that make a big difference.
Totally. Mayor Fulop, I was in Jersey City recently. I noticed what you did there. You put a Krispy Kreme right by City Hall. Nice touch. Nice.
I mean, yeah, that was very
That's
intentional.
why he really
very
wanted to talk to you this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Dan, I love the fact that you're so into the Jersey City restaurants and you know what's going on here.
You know I am.
It's
I'm
terrific.
always there. I love Jersey City. Mayor Fulop, thank you for being here this morning, sharing this important information. And by the way, head on over to pix11.com for a link to that application for the rent relief program. I know so many of you are looking for it.